Still getting set up here. I want to see what the feed looks like, so I'm gonna bust out the tablet. Whoa, it's like Inception. BRB. Alright, we're back. It's been a long time since I've made any content. I've been really slipping on... Whoa. Again, Inception. Let's put this bad boy away. In any case, as I mentioned, again, it's been a while since I made any content on my YouTube channel. Been really busy with work, and I actually moved in with my loving girlfriend, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. So I'm kind of in between places. This is my old apartment, which is actually in my sister's place. So I'm physically moved, and I'm actually living in Toronto again, rather, living and working in Toronto. But pretty much most of my physical assets are still here, which include the majority of my collection, my studio equipment, and all this type of stuff. So gradually, I've been sort of packing, everything, getting it ready to go into storage to kind of find a place prior to moving it into Toronto. And I was just in State College, Pennsylvania this weekend, and my sister reminded me that the kids are getting a little bit more adventurous in regards to the space to play in the basement, and that my niece Robin was actually going after my amiibo collection, which is right behind me over here. And of course that's one of my favorite and most prized possessions in regards to what I have. So I thought that I would sort of share the journey of actually storing my amiibo collection. So while we're on the topic of amiibo, I actually have a couple that I got recently. So this is the Bayo Player 1, I believe. Yeah, that's a standard Bayo. Short-haired Bayo is actually in the mail. I should be getting her shortly. I also have the Player 2 Corrin. Over here, that's the female Corrin. As well as Final Fantasy VII Cloud, as you can see here. I have the Player 2 Advent Children variant coming in from Japan. Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu, Rob-sama. And I also, actually this was supposed to be a set of 4 from Amazon, but while I was away, someone actually stole the 4th part of the shipment, so it was supposed to be all 4, or 4 out of the 6 of the Smash Amiibo rather, And for some reason the male Koran version was separated. It got delivered sometime on Monday, but when we got home, nothing was there. So I just want to give a shout out to Amazon Helps, because I actually reached out to them on their voice line, gave them a quick shout, and in 18 minutes they fully resolved the issue, found the rare item in question, and actually have another one coming to a replacement one coming tomorrow, which is really exciting. So shout outs to them. But in regards to putting everything together, I'm a little particular, obviously, with my collection. Again, I don't keep or collect the box. Like, eventually these will all be torn out because I want to use them in my Toy Bacon photography, as well as even just using them in the game or whatever games that they're compatible with. So to ensure that they're all stored properly, it's kind of nerdy and OCD, but I use something really simple. It's just these Glad extra thick, durable, medium-sized freezer bags, which I have over here. I bought a big pack from Walmart for $10 or something like that, just because I think I'm running low on that the other pack that's already open. And to kind of keep them all sorted and visible, I also have this Sterilite, what's it called? A gasket box. And this one's kind of cool because it's air and moisture, it has an air and moisture resistant seal, so it's kind of rubberized around the edges over here. So when you put it on, tighten that, you know, that should sort of help in storage. The storage locker that Sarah and I have in the apartment is underground, so there's going to be tons of moisture there. So I want to kind of block that off. And then the reason why I use the freezer bags is because I always worry about paint transfer in regards to typically when a high-end figure is shipped in its box. What do we have here? Let's pull out Ryu, or the Ryu box rather. I'll also bring Ryu into the shot. This is the SH Figuarts Ryu over here. Here's his box, but inside, typically when you receive a brand new figure, you'll get some type of plastic kind of around the hip joint, hip socket over here, as well as around the shoulder sockets, these butterfly joints around the side, between the material and the mold, like the actual mold of the character, sometimes kind of like underneath where the feet are. Basically any place that has two tones in regards to the color of the mold versus the color of the, you know, the gi or the headband or anything like that. And the reason why they include that is because sometime in transit or during wear, you're going to experience some paint transfer, and then you'll start to get some scuff marks, like maybe some gray over here or red across the back or whatever it may be. But in any case, to try and mitigate that, at least, you know, when I'm storing my figures and putting them away, I like to use the freezer bags to sort of, you know, give it a little bit of a protective layer. And that's just, you know, a personal preference that I have. I had a Sharpie earlier. If I can find it. But the good thing, or cool thing about these Glad freezer bags is that they actually have this little white space over here that allows you to mark them. But I gotta find that. So give me a second. Alright, so I'm back. There's going to be a lot of up and down. Probably some crotch shots, which is kind of awkward. So I might move the camera along this side. It's a little bit of a battlefield war zone over here with a whole bunch of Play-Doh that I'm trying to avoid. Robin and Logan's Play-Doh. Let's get these out of the shot. Again, I know it's not as polished as a lot of my older videos, but again, I just kind of wanted to spend some time, you know, working on content to some degree, showing you guys what I'm up to, as crappy as that may be, in regards to production value. Let's get these new amiibos out of the way. So what I'll do is I'll actually take a whole bunch down. One thing that I'll point out before I move anything is that, you know, again, super OCD and nerdy of me, but my amiibo collection up here is actually pretty much arranged in the way that it appears in the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U game, in regards to the way that the roster and each of the squares are sort of lit up there. And that was just, you know, I just kind of copied that from the game just to sort of help me arrange what I got. Thought that worked out pretty well. But in any case, start bringing these bad boys down. Alright, so in regards to what we have here, I kind of want to do a little bit of a review. I actually never reviewed these in the past, so it won't be super thorough, but I'll just kind of go over this. So obviously in the Super Mario games, when you get a Fire Flower, Mario has the ability to throw fireballs. This, of course, isn't the right color. He usually has a white jumpsuit, overalls with the red cap and sleeves. So that's wrong. Or sorry, no, it's a red jumpsuit with the inverted white when he's throwing fireballs. But actually, he can still throw fireballs in the Super Smash Bros. Series. In any case, like that's kind of one of his taunts that he has when or in the very end when he actually, you know, has a little bit of a fireball that sort of comes across. But I think that they did a really good job in regards to the way that they sort of sculpted this. The paint job is really good. And you actually get a little bit of texture in regards to the overalls. The fireball in itself is kind of like this translucent plastic with a little bit of sort of paint throughout. But in any case, again, it's pretty much right out of the Smash Bros. Game. So I'm just going to take this guy, sign his little bag. Toss him in to his little plastic coffin. I know, so morbid, right? And that is it. And then for each amiibo, I'm just going to pretty much toss them in here. Nothing too crazy. Next we have Princess Peach. With Princess, again, just kind of like a happy little handout pose. One little story, rather, that I wanted to share in regards to the Super Smash Bros. Amiibo are the fact that I actually was really lucked out in regards to the first wave. Like, I already knew that they were going to be a hot item as soon as they came out, so I pre-ordered as many as I could, but I didn't think that they were going to be that hard to get. Or sorry, no, I didn't pre-order them because I didn't think that they were going to be that hot. I ended up picking up my Wii U probably the day before Smash 4 on Wii U launched. Got the last bundled copy of the Smash Bros. With the adapter and the GameCube controller, and when I showed up there and I saw how scarce the amiibo stock was, I just bought them out. I bought 9 out of the original 12 amiibo right away. They had a Marth there that was spoken for, and they didn't have a villager and they didn't have a Wii Fit trainer, which was, you know, really kind of like, that's what gave me the amiibo itch, I guess, in regards to, like, you know, knowing that you know, they would be sort of hard to find. So in any case, I ended up going to Best Buy the next morning, and sure enough, Marth, Wii Fit trainer, and villager were just there, and there was the only ones right at 9 in the morning. So I lucked out, and that was pretty much the first wave. Once the following wave started to get announced, I started doing pre-orders, knowing that, you know, the hype was real and people were sort of going after them. And when I wasn't able to get them, a friend of a friend, Rob, in Japan, so Larry, my buddy from university, and his friend Rob, who's teaching in Japan, actually offered to ship amiibos over here because they were more easily available in that market. So I really appreciate, again, all the work. You know, shout out to Larry for introducing me to Rob, first of all, and then second to Rob for helping me again track down and sort of complete this collection. Anyone who knows me pretty much knows how much this game, or this franchise rather, means to me in regards to all my Nintendo sort of favorites. So that was a really huge score. So getting back to the amiibo with Princess Peach, I think they did a pretty good job with her over here in regards to the sculpt. Nice little details in regards to the paint job of the sort of like doily sort of things, these frilly sort of lace pieces across the bottom. Different colors to show multiple layers in regards to her gown. Nice little crown with the painted jewels on the very top. In regards to the paint job, done pretty well. And it looks like Robin or Logan may have gotten to this one because I do see a little bit of dirt on her dress, which I'll clean up at another time. But in any case, that was Peach. Just going to grab into my little bags here. And feel free to drop a comment or question. So that's Peach. Away she goes. Yoshi. So Yoshi's going for a little stroll in this position over here. Pretty basic in regards to Yoshi. Again, not too many colors. Sculpt is super accurate though. It would be nice again if amiibos did have articulation. I know some of the newer ones do, like the Guardian and the little squishy Metroid that's going to be coming out. But all in all, again, for one of the earlier ones in the series, I think that they did a pretty good job with Yoshi. Let's get him packed up. If you're an amiibo hunter yourself, feel free to drop some comments in regards to what your favorite amiibo is. I know that, the struggle was real in regards to, tracking them down. Again, Rob was a huge help, but sometimes it was just a matter of either pre-ordering or showing up to places on launch day, which was, a lot of work, but, for a completionist collection guy like me, I knew that a lot of the characters that Nintendo has, or right to the Nintendo franchise, they don't really make a lot of action figures for them, so that's kind of why. So one, I love the game, but second of all, in order to sort of, I guess, celebrate my Nintendo fandom, it's really rare to find, where are you going to find a Bowser Jr. Action figure? Like that's typically something that they don't really run. Speaking of which, again, really awesome job with the Bowser Jr. over here. Shoutouts to Moose Bones, one of my buddies in the Smash FGC. He has a mean Koopa Jr., so you definitely should, he'll actually be at Gommel this weekend, I believe. So hopefully we can get some friendlies in. But in regards to this sculpt, super awesome in regards to, the different layers, the Koopa cart that he's actually in. Nice little details. They got the shell sort of all studded out. And he has his little handkerchief around the neck with the sharp teeth, which is pretty funny. Really reminiscent of, what am I thinking of? The Yoshi games, as well as Super Mario Sunshine. Yo, what's going on, Helton? What are you saying? If you're just joining now, I'm just packing up all my amiibo. Hey, what's going on, Larry? I was mentioning earlier that, so I'm at my sister's house right now, which is where I used to live. I moved in with Sarah, physically I moved in with Sarah, obviously downtown, living closer to work by World Gaming Cineplex. I am live right now, right now. Alright, trying to jump back on. Looks like my phone died at some point. So hopefully that corrected itself. Just trying to jump on here now. Just to check to see if that's working. Looks like that's okay, but it seems like my phone's eating battery faster than I can actually use it. But in any case, I think I was on Bowser Jr. What's going on, Larry? It might die again, and if it does, jump. I might switch and try shooting on my tablet with Facebook Live, if that might be a little bit better. But I'm just packing up Bowser Jr. right now. Again, going back to my original theme was the fact that I'm just packing my amiibo for storage prior to finding a place in our new apartment. So we'll see how that goes. Helton, if you're watching still, I don't know if I have you, I don't think I have you on Facebook, but I'll set it to public, my stream, if I go on Facebook Live, to public. So just look up my name, Francisco Tejada, there, and we can figure it out. But in any case, I'm just going to keep going, trucking along until this feed dies. Next we have Luigi in his little taunt position when he kind of bounds down. He's planking or something like that. Again, awesome detail in regards to the sculpt. I think they did a phenomenal job, and they've just been getting better with the amiibos, to be honest. And nice little texture with the denim. Great colors in regards to keeping it true to Luigi, and the likeness is spot on. So let's get Luigi a little bag. If there's anything you want to see, Larry, let me know. I know you know that I got a lot of stuff. And again, all of these are going into Glad, extra thick, durable freezer bags, hopefully to avoid paint transfer, because again, if I just kind of toss these in the bin that I'm using right now, the moisture locked bin that I have, I just don't want all the plastic sort of like scratching and scuffing each other. I know it's super OCD, but when you put the time and money, blood, sweat, and tears into completing this amiibo collection, you may or may not feel the same. I'm going to double check to make sure I'm live. Yep, got 2 people watching apparently. Comment, let me know who's here. I don't know who's here right now, but I'd love to know who's here. Next we're going with Bowser. Bowser is definitely one of the bigger amiibos in regards to... Nice, good to know, Larry. One of the bigger amiibos. He takes up pretty much more than the full base. I like the fact that for the most part, most of the amiibos are in scale. Not in full proportion, but still pretty decent. With Bowser, again, super menacing. He's actually a force to be reckoned with. Nairo has been busting out a pretty dirty Bowser in the competitive Smash scene right now. After they gave him the hoo-ha, which is the grab to up smash sort of true combo, he became a force to be reckoned with. When you're playing against Bowser in Smash, anyone or a competitive Bowser player, really the trick is not to get grabbed. Like, that's really the game. Like, it's not even fighting, like just fighting him. It's like the game is do not get grabbed by Bowser, because pretty much you're guaranteed to get hit at least 2 or 3. I'd say 2 times. One guaranteed for sure, and you'll take easily anywhere between 20 and 30 damage. So pretty much grab turns into the equivalent of smash damage, and if that happens to you 2 or 3 times, you're at kill percent, and that's not a good idea, and a not good position for you to be in. But in any case, awesome sculpt with Bowser. Really great work with the spikes in the back, and with the texture that they have as well on his scaly sort of skin. Never really figured out what Bowser was. I don't know if he's a dragon or a turtle or whatever, but in any case. If there's any amiibo that you want to see before my phone dies again, let me know, and I'll try and get to that one first. Again, I have pretty much every amiibo on me, except for the Cloud Advent Children variant, which is on its way from Japan. Thank you, Rob. The Corrin male variant, because someone stole that on Monday, but Amazon's replacing it. Thank you, Amazon. And the last one is the Bayonetta variant from EV Games. Shoutouts to Brian Chin for letting me know when that was going to be online. He just sent me the Twitter link, and I ordered it right away. Next one we will do is Wario. With Wario, it's actually the WarioWare variant, which I think is kind of cool. Has a little hurry up logo in the very back. I like this one a lot just because there's tons of color. Again, Wario's typically purple and yellow, and I love those colors because those are my high school colors: purple and gold. Mustangs, what? But in any case, I don't know how and who came up with this character design, but I think it's awesome. With his pink denim, he still has the purple sort of like jumpsuit, just to kind of complement like some of his original colors, and the yellow in the gloves and the hat. But the Wario is not only on his head by the goggles, but also on his fists, on the biker gloves, and this awesome like denim style sort of vest that they got going on. But I thought that they did a really awesome job with this Wario amiibo. Not too many Wario mains in the Smash competitive scene. There's one, I believe, Galuto,